Hey guys, CryptoDad here again. Thanks for joining me on my vacation. And the sun is setting here in Indiana, and I wanted to get a little bit of the lake in the background. I know you can't see my face very well, but the sun will be down shortly, and it probably won't be here much longer. So I'll probably end up turning on a light, but most of the live stream is done with me down in the corner, so it doesn't really matter that you can't see my face very well so much. I will be sharing my screen most of the time. So I'm really glad that you're all here. I checked, the pop out, and I saw a lot of the regulars are here, and but I'm going to apologize in advance for any technical issues. The first technical issue is I'm not at home on my rig, and so there's a lot of components missing. One of those being my dual screens. So I'm going to have a little trouble with the dual screen and checking your comments and that sort of thing. And then also, I'm on a Wi-Fi at a lake rental property, so we may have some buffering issues. Hopefully, you'll be able to hear me okay and see me okay. So hello, Chasen, Shahid, Glenn A, Betty A, Mr. David, Celtic fan. Uh, it is 9 o'clock here in Indiana, but I usually do this at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So you guys are all here at the right time. I am too. It's just a different time on my watch for me. Uh, okay, yeah, I came in right on time, hopefully. And let's see. Yeah, so you can sort of see the lake behind me. We're right here on the Lake George, near Fremont, Indiana, which is right on the border between Indiana and Michigan. In fact, the other side of the lake that you can see there is on the Michigan side. So it's very quiet, very peaceful. I just chased all my relatives out of the room. We were going to try to do it down on the dock. That didn't work out too well. I didn't have an outlet, and the Wi-Fi signal wasn't really that strong. So I'm up here inside the living room where the TV is, and they were nice enough to pause the movie they were watching and take the kids outside. So here we are. So let's jump into the news. Let's see. I don't have my full version of OBS that I normally have. So I just installed it kind of on the fly and put a few scenes in there. One scene, actually. So I'm going to take this guy off. We're going to put this guy up. Oh, that's crazy. We're going to put this down. And hopefully you guys, now you can see me in the corner, I'm assuming. Looks like. I'll probably turn the light on and move back over a little bit. I'll kind of stay like this for a little bit. And so now you should be able to see my screen. So a lot of news in the mainstream news concerning Bitcoin. Last week I talked about Trump mentioning Bitcoin, and he tweeted about Bitcoin. And then on Monday, the Treasury Secretary, Steve Mnuchin, had a press conference where he mentioned Bitcoin as well. And you'll notice, too, let me see. Oh, yeah. Let me go back if I can find here. Yeah. So I did a Google search on Bitcoin and Mnuchin, and I misspelled his name, but I got a lot of hits. So he's been in the news. He's been talking a lot about Bitcoin lately. His latest thing is the Treasury Secretary will ensure that Bitcoin doesn't become a Swiss numbered bank account. Very, very strong regulations. I guess he's trying to scare people that think Bitcoin is anonymous. But all of us know that it's not anonymous. It's probably easier to trace Bitcoin than it is cash. We know it is. So there's still, even though the arguments have moved to the mainstream now, we've got the government itself attacking Bitcoin. instead of just the media and the economist. We've actually got the president of the United States and the Treasury Secretary of the United States and Maxine Walters and Brad Sherman. A lot of big players now are trying to bash Bitcoin. And they may be good politicians, they may be good government leaders, but they aren't very good Bitcoin bashers. They're using the same old tired arguments that people have been using since 2017 and before about Bitcoin being used by criminals, being funding terrorists, all that scary stuff that they think is going to scare the normal, average, Joe at home to not buy Bitcoin. But they're a little late to the party. I believe it's too far. People understand that Bitcoin is a thing now, that it's here to stay. And now that the government is trying to get involved, it's almost validating Bitcoin in a way. In fact, there's a couple of news stories that I pulled up that are talking about Trump bashing Bitcoin was validation. Mnuchin bashing Bitcoin was also validation. So, but you can see here that when I did the search for Bitcoin and Mnuchin, we had a lot of hits concerning the Treasury Secretary. And another thing that Trump and Mnuchin are doing, and Maxine Walters, and Brad Sherman knows a little bit more about Bitcoin because he's been bashing Bitcoin a while now. So he sort of knows the difference between Bitcoin and Libra, Facebook's crypto or Facebook's soon-to-be payment system, which is not really a true cryptocurrency. So a lot of the government officials are conflating the two. They're talking about Facebook, Libra, and Bitcoin in the same breath, when they're really not the same thing. In fact, one of the main weaknesses of Libra is that it is associated very closely with Facebook and these other large companies. So all of these government regulators have a chokehold on them, right? So they can attack them directly because they're directly involved. Whereas Bitcoin is decentralized and open source and not owned by anyone in particular, and is not a company, so it can't really be attacked in that direct way. But they mention the two in the same breath, and they're really not the same. But they do seem more concerned about Libra, and then they just sort of throw in Bitcoin as an afterthought for good measure to make other people probably think that the two are directly related. And they are in a way, because Bitcoin is a new paradigm in the transfer of value. It's a new currency, so to speak, in many ways, a new bartering system, if you will. There's a lot of things that Bitcoin is that's very similar to the way money works, but it's decentralized. So, Facebook's Libra is sort of trying to mimic Bitcoin in a way, but sort of try to hang on to the traditional centralized payment system, which is what China has done very well too. They have their Alipay and those payment systems are also tied to their centralized bank. So let's get into it. We're talking about Mnuchin, of course, and there's been a lot of Libra bashing going on. And of course, after Trump tweeted about Bitcoin and Libra, Bitcoin sort of went up a bit, but then we had this horrible crash last week where Bitcoin dropped into the low 9,000s. So we can check that. And then, of course, a lot of people piled on and said it was because, the government was directly attacking Bitcoin. And they were in many ways. But Bitcoin has recovered as of the last couple of days. Bitcoin was down to about 9,400, and now it shot up about $1,000 in 30 minutes, I believe yesterday or the day before, and now it has comfortably recaptured the 10,000 mark. All right. So price-wise, Bitcoin seems to have weathered the storm. All right. So, but let's go into some of these news stories. I have to talk about BitMEX, which is a famous cryptocurrency exchange, and Nouriel Roubini, who is a famous Bitcoin basher. So BitMEX is under investigation by the CFTC. Although they're a Shelley's, I'm not pronouncing this right, Shelley's-based cryptocurrency exchange. So they're not even based in the U.S. But I guess the U.S. Commodities and Futures Trading Commission can investigate someone if they're servicing U.S. customers without the proper license. Now, all this is stemming from this crazy debate between our old friend Nouriel Roubini, who felt slighted during this heated debate a few weeks ago, where they were debating the pros and cons of Bitcoin. And of course, Nouriel Roubini was, bashing Bitcoin as usual, and the BitMEX CEO was speaking about its pros, of course. So after the debate, there was a lot of controversy. There was the debate itself was very heated, and then after the debate, there were Twitter back and forths. Nouriel was accusing BitMEX of editing the tapes of the debate to make him look bad. So there was a lot of animosity stemming from this debate, and a lot of articles written concerning it. And then recently, Nouriel Roubini has written an article called "The Great Crypto Heist," and he's mostly attacking cryptocurrency exchanges, saying that they're big scams and that they're money laundering and they're funding terrorism, all the same old stuff. But he has sort of moved from criticizing Bitcoin directly, which he used to do quite well. I mean, he had some pretty good points, but now he's sort of moved to cryptocurrency exchanges because that's kind of the Achilles heel of cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin, is that you have to buy them on exchanges, and exchanges can get hacked and that sort of thing. So now I would venture to say that he's making quite a name for himself, and he's probably getting some free exposure, being the Bitcoin doomsayer. So in a way, indirectly, he's benefiting from the renewed interest in Bitcoin, because you didn't hear much from him in 2018, because then nobody cared about Bitcoin, really. Now that it's the price action is back up, he's back at it again, getting in the limelight. I'm going to check what you guys are saying, because I usually can check my other screen, but I can't. So I'm just going to kind of scroll through to make sure you guys can hear me okay. And let's see where we are with the... You can still see the lake behind me, and I'm kind of dim, so that's fine. Scott Lee is here, hot and humid in Hawaii. I'm great. Thanks for asking, Scott. It's good to have you here, as usual. Devin is somewhere where it's 6 a.m. Sun just breaking. That's cool. Politicians are just puppets, of course. Hey, friend. Okay, so we got a few spammers, I guess. I don't know what you would call them. Yeah. That's okay. I've learned how to delete them. Good evening, Dean from Kansas City. Rudy from Chicago. Greetings from Ecuador. Guido, thanks for joining us tonight. No one's screaming that they can't hear me or see me, so I'm just going to keep going. All right. So because Dr. Nouriel Roubini was so angry, he wrote this article condemning Bitcoin exchanges and BitMEX in particular. And I guess, we had a little bit of pull with some insiders. So now BitMEX is being investigated by the exchange, U.S. Commodities Future Trading Commission. But it's funny he's not attacking Coinbase, which is the most popular U.S.-based cryptocurrency exchange, which is pretty squeaky clean. I don't think he would get very far criticizing Coinbase as some sort of big scam or Ponzi scheme. And you don't hear him criticizing Binance or Bittrex. So he's obviously got it in for BitMEX. And maybe he's right about them. They may be a little underhanded. And God knows there are many cryptocurrency scams out there. There's a lot of shady currency exchanges that are kind of small time. And there's a lot of wash trades and fake data on their trading volumes. We all know this, but that doesn't mean that Bitcoin is bad and cryptocurrency exchanges are bad. It just means that there's some bad players out there. Thank you, William. Good to see you. I'm in Michigan. It's starting to get dark, so you guys are seeing more of my silhouette than anything lately, but the lake's back there. Oh, I didn't say you were spamming, Lloyd. It was somebody that... Lloyd. Hey, friends, can you please help me with some data research I'm doing by filling out the Google form sheet and share with your extended communities? I'm not sure what that's about, Lloyd, but that doesn't sound like a question for me. Okay. I won't block you until you start adding more Google Forms to this. I'm not sure what you're talking about there. And Rudy just asked if the CFCT has any Etherium chalets. And like I mentioned, they don't directly, but they can they have ways of affecting people in other countries that are doing business with people in the U.S., which is the reason that Binance is going to be blocking access to their site. Nobody really wants to be in the crosshairs of U.S. regulators, even if they're not based in the U.S., because the long arm of the U.S. financial community can reach them if they can prove that you're doing business with people in the U.S. That's I don't know. I guess that's a little bit of an extension of borders there. But if you're ripping off U.S. consumers, and then they have means to sanction you or charge you with regulatory infractions or assess fines against you, that sort of thing. So that's why they're getting involved in this. And like I said, Binance has decided to block access to the U.S. completely and open up a brand new U.S.-based, U.S.-only based cryptocurrency exchange in order to make sure they comply with all of these regulations. So definitely don't want to be in the crosshairs of the U.S. regulators. Okay. Innocent until proven guilty, though. That's right. Okay, but there were a couple of other news stories I wanted to share with you, and then I'll do some crypto stuff, because I've got a few things I want to do. We talked about Minushkin a little bit, and so let me check my topics here. Oh, yeah, I wanted to talk about this. These are some great stories. Now, this was the first story that I read a few days ago. This was when Bitcoin went from 94 back over 10,000. Not long after a U.S. lawmaker said that Bitcoin cannot be killed. So the guy's name is, let's see, where's the guy's name? I think I lost him here. Okay. U.S. Representative Patrick McHenry said that he believed, Oh, he's a rep. I'm not sure if he's Democrat or Republican. Bitcoin cannot be killed in an interview with CNBC Squawk Box. So he said, I think there's no capacity to kill Bitcoin. Even the Chinese, with their firewall and their extreme intervention in their society, could not kill Bitcoin. And he makes a pretty good point. The Chinese government outlawed cryptocurrency exchanges in 2017. And although they may have had some part in killing the bull market, they did not kill Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies by doing that. So he makes a pretty good point. So here is a a U.S. government representative speaking publicly about Bitcoin, saying that he doesn't believe that the U.S. government can kill it. So I thought that was a great story. Let's go over here. And then there's a follow-up to that. I'm not sure if it's the same congressman or not. So who is this guy? Patrick McHenry. So let's look at this one. Bitcoin is an unstoppable force. And that's still Patrick McHenry. It's just sort of another angle, I guess, on that. During testimony on July 17th, Congressman Patrick McHenry, who represents North Carolina's 10th district, told lawmakers directly that attempts to stop Bitcoin were futile. So, we've got Maxine Walters, who's more really concerned with Facebook and Libra, talking bad about cryptocurrencies. And then we have Brad Sherman, who's kind of been a famous Bitcoin basher all along. Some of his things are almost comical, but I think he said something like that Bitcoin was more dangerous than Osama bin Laden this week, indirectly. He didn't say that exactly, but he's pretty extreme. He even suggested that the U.S. try to ban Bitcoin completely. So Brad Sherman, not a lover of Bitcoin. But we have some other congressmen who are saying that not only do they think it shouldn't be stopped, but that the U.S. government should encourage Bitcoin and blockchain innovation because we might be falling behind if we don't. So there's a little bit of debate going on at the highest levels of the U.S. government, which is great for people that believe in Bitcoin. So let's look, and then I'll got a few other little stories. Oh yeah, here's a great story. This was just today or yesterday. A Chinese court ruled in a court case that Bitcoin should be a virtual property. So the case was a user against a cryptocurrency exchange in China. And the case dates back to 2013. But and I guess the Chinese court held that the guy's claim did not have merit. But during that case, they determined that Bitcoin holds the attributes of property, that it's valuable, scarce, and disposable, and we should recognize it as a virtual property. So here is a Chinese court ruling that Bitcoin is legally protected property. Now, that's a major milestone, but as far as China goes, there's a long way to go, because even though people in China are allowed to hold Bitcoin, they're not allowed to buy it or trade it. So there's a little bit of disconnect there. But I thought that was a great story that China seems to be warming up to Bitcoin. All right, so guys, I am going to. Coinbase is a good on-ramp to the U.S. I have a lot of videos on Coinbase, and I couldn't get my phone screen sharing to work, so I'm going to kind of just work from the laptop tonight. And so what I'm going to do is, the quality of this video isn't very good. There we go. I have my trusty Ledger Nano X with me tonight, and I have a work laptop with me that does not have Ledger Live installed on it. So basically what a lot of people wonder about the Ledger and about Ledger Live is what happens if I lose Ledger Live? Am I going to lose my Bitcoin? Or am I going to lose my cryptocurrencies? And the answer, of course, is no. The cryptocurrencies are not really stored on the device. The private keys are stored on the device. So the Bitcoin is on the blockchain. Private keys are on the device. So as long as your private keys are safe and secure on the device, you'll always be able to access your cryptocurrency if your laptop crashes or you accidentally uninstall Ledger Live or something of that nature. So I'm just going to show you what to do with a brand new, let's just say you got a brand new computer and you have your Ledger and it's already set up and you've got some wallets on there and your old computer died and you're wondering, well, what should I do? I'll also point out that someone in my comments today, I won't reveal the comment, but they said, I accidentally entered my Ledger PIN incorrectly 3 times, and I don't have my 24-word recovery phrase. But I can still see my Bitcoin in Ledger Live. So, class, can he get his Bitcoin back? No, he cannot. It doesn't matter if you can still see it in a blockchain explorer or in Ledger Live. Of course he can still see it in his Ledger Live, but if he tries to withdraw it from any of those wallets, it's going to ask for confirmation on the device. And he inadvertently wiped his device, and he doesn't have his recovery phrase. So there's no way he's lost his Bitcoin. So this is I hear this a lot. People are telling me I lost my Ledger or I reset my Ledger accidentally, but I don't have my backup phrase. So we know that you must keep your backup phrase in a safe place. If you got the backup phrase, you can lose your Ledger, your computer can fall in the lake, anything can happen. But as long as you've got that recovery phrase, you can go buy a brand new Ledger and restore it with the recovery phrase and gain access to all your wallets. So guys, I'm going to go turn the light on over here. Because I couldn't see anything. All right, so you guys can see me better now. All right, so we're going to take the Ledger Nano X. We're going to take our cable. And we'll get this all connected. So the first thing I'll do is download Ledger Live. So we'll go over here to ledger.com. All right. All right, and then we're going to go to Downloads. And we're going to hit Download Now for Ledger Live. Alrighty, and so we'll just drop that in our Downloads folder. And I'm getting lots of pop-ups because, you know, like I said, this is a work computer. And so in a lot of this stuff that I'm doing, it's never seen before. So it's kind of acting like I'm a newbie, which is fine. And thank goodness the internet connection is holding up and Ledger Live is downloading. It's a Wi-Fi, and it's not as strong as the one I have at home. You know, I've got at home, you know, like my rig and, you know, 300 BPS internet, 300 down, 20 up. But we're surviving, and I know I'm probably not as high def as I usually am. So we're just going to open this up. And we'll, oh, I guess I had it on there before. Maybe I have it installed. I may have actually installed it at some point. But anyway, we'll go through this. So we'll say yes. We'll get the clutter out of the way here. We'll go through this. Yeah, I believe I actually have installed it on this machine. But we'll just act as if. All right, and then we'll run it, and let's see. If it asks me for a password, we'll know that it was already on there. Yeah, it was. But that's okay. I'm just going to take it over here. I'm going to go into program data, into, I'm just going to, so it should be in there. We're going to change our view options here real quick. If I can do this. Okay, here we go. Oh, I am show. Okay. Oh, sorry. What in God's name am I doing here? Oh, I should be in users. There we go. Sorry about that, gang. All right, and then app data. I believe it's in the local. Maybe not. Yeah, see, there it is in roaming. I'm just going to get rid of that folder. I'll just move it out of there. And let's launch Ledger Live again. And it's going to act like it's brand new. All right, so it's acting like it's a brand new copy. So we don't need to initialize a new device. We're acting as if we've already got a ledger set up. We're just installing new software. So I'm going to choose Use as Initialized Device, right? And we're going to hit Ledger Nano X. You'll notice it says USB only there. It has Bluetooth, but when you're using it with the desktop version of Ledger Live, it needs to be connected. Even if your laptop has Bluetooth, I don't believe it supports the interface in the desktop version of Ledger Live. So we'll hit that. We'll hit continue. Yes, I chose the PIN code. Yes, I have my recovery phrase. These are very important. You know, a lot of people don't read this stuff. But there it is right there. Did you save your recovery phrase by yourself? If someone sells you a ledger and they give you the recovery phrase, that means they got a copy of it somewhere. And they'll drain your wallet as soon as they get a chance. All right, so I'm going to check if it's genuine by plugging it in. So we're going to plug it in. I'm going to enter the PIN code. All right, and then when we enter the PIN code, I'm going to hit check now. And I should have to allow manager on my device. Having a little trouble seeing what I'm doing. I know it's not very clear, but if I move to the next screen, oh, yeah, I just hit both buttons on this. The check mark is at the top, right? And then as soon as I do that, Ledger Live tells me I have a genuine device and I'm ready to roll. All right, now it wants me to set up a password. I don't know if you have to do this. Yeah, you don't even have to do it. So I'm just going to skip this step. But I recommend putting a password on this. All right, I'm just going to turn these two off and hit continue, and it's ready to go. All right, it's going to give me a little warning now. Now, okay, so I have it connected. So how can I check my Bitcoin account? Let's start with that. So I don't need to open Manager because the apps are all installed on my device. So I can skip that step, right? I just hit Add Account. Let's choose Bitcoin and hit Continue. And I need to go into the Bitcoin app. So you can see here that I've got the Bitcoin app. I'll hit both buttons. And as soon as I go into the Bitcoin app, the screen tells me that it's happy. And I'll hit continue. And now it's scanning the device for any existing Bitcoin wallets. Well, it's actually generating a Bitcoin wallet based on the master private key. So as soon as it generates that, it's deterministic. It's going to generate the exact same Bitcoin wallet every time. So on that first Bitcoin wallet, when it generates it, it's going to check the blockchain to see if it has a balance. So if it finds a balance on the blockchain at that address, it's going to assume that it's that you created the wallet and it's, already there. And so you'll notice that it sees the wallet and offers me the option of adding it to my accounts. It also sees a couple of other little wallets, and then it also gives me the option of creating an empty one, right? So if there weren't any active wallets when it generated its first address, it would just offer it as an empty one. But in our case, it sees that we already had a wallet established. So I'm not going to add that little tiny one. And I'm going to edit the name here. You don't have to accept the name they offer. I'm just going to use Bitcoin. And I could call it Ledger X if I wanted to. And I'll hit Add Account. And we'll hit Close. And there we go. We've recovered our Bitcoin. And we can add and subtract Bitcoin all day long from this account because we have the device attached. And when we try to send Bitcoin out, it's going to ask us to confirm, and we're ready to go with that. So let's go ahead and add one more. Let's add Litecoin. So I'll add Litecoin. I'll hit Continue. And this time I need to enter the Litecoin app. So I'm going to need to exit the Bitcoin app and then enter the Litecoin app. So I'll hit both buttons there. And as soon as I do that, you can see that the Litecoin app is been recognized, and all I have to do is hit Continue. And now it's going to do that same thing. It's going to scan this device for any Litecoin wallets that have already been established, right? It's actually not regenerating addresses. It does that when you delete and re-add apps. And in my case, I didn't need to delete or re-add apps. So there, it found my Litecoin. We're just dealing with the interface at this point, right? So I'm going to go ahead. It's going to offer me an empty one too, which I don't need. And I'll hit Add Account, and there we've got our Litecoin. All right, let's do one more. Let's do Ethereum, because I'm going to check my ERC20 balances here. So we'll enter the Ethereum app, and then we'll hit Add Account again, and we'll hit Ethereum. Actually, let's not do that. Let me show you something. Even though it's not in Ledger Live, I can still use it because I can use my Ether wallet. So let's do that. Let's just go over to my Ether wallet. There are so many people get confused between Ledger Live and my Ether wallet. So it looks like they've updated Mu again. Okay. Right. So here I have a Ledger device that has the Ethereum app on it, but I don't even need to add the account to Ledger Live. All I need is my device connected to my computer, and I need to be in the Ethereum app. And then I can access that wallet using my Ether wallet directly by using the hardware choice and then the ledger choice, and then scroll down here, choose that hardware, and in my case I need the Ledger Live derivation path. If you have an old ledger, you would use the default, but I'm using a Ledger Live based Ethereum app. Right? So there it goes. It's scanning all these addresses. It sees my Ethereum address there. I'm just going to highlight that address, check off down here, and choose Access My Wallet. And you'll see there, it sees my Ethereum balance, and then you'll notice over on the side that it's going to show me my ERC20 tokens as well. And there they are, safe and sound. So if your computer crashes, don't freak out. right? You're going to be just fine. If you lose your 24-word recovery phrase, I give you permission to freak out, because you'll need it. All right. Oh, and you'll see there, it sees my... That was me. I'm trying to go back. Oh, is that it? It's down here. Yeah, let me pop this out real quick. Yeah, I'll just have an extra window over here where I can see what you guys are saying. All right. We'll get... let's go ahead and get... Let me just check up and see what you guys are asking. Anything? Hi, I lost my private MyEther wallet keys. Okay, so Jerome, if you created a standalone wallet using MyEther wallet where you were given a private key and then you wrote that private key down, or you copied and pasted it into a text file, or whatever you did to manage that private key, you need that private key to access that wallet. And if you have lost it, then you have lost access to that cryptocurrency. I mean, there's just no two ways about it. So if you've lost that private key, then you no longer have access to that wallet. And, you know, a lot of people call me with questions like this. Text me, email me, that sort of thing. And they have the public address, right? Because they sent coin to the wallet. So they can go onto their cryptocurrency exchanges and they can, follow that transaction on the Blockchain Explorer or Etherscan.o or whatever, and they can see that the coin moved and they can see the balance in the wallet. But unfortunately, if you don't have the private key anymore, then you've lost access to it. You can see it, but you can't reach it or touch it or withdraw it. I'm afraid to be the bearer of bad news on that one. Sarah and Mike G are here again. Good evening. You got your Ledger Nano S. You're wondering, does the Ledger Nano S show how much crypto on its display screen? No, it doesn't. The only way to view your balance is in Ledger Live or a third-party wallet app. However, when you transfer cryptocurrency, it will, depending on the interface, it will briefly show you how much you're transferring. And in that particular case, it does kind of show you a balance, right? So, like if I send 1,000 ADA from ADA Lite to somewhere else, it will like show you on the little screen when you confirm. It'll go, or even the Bitcoin, right? If you send Bitcoin from your Ledger Live wallet to somewhere else, like you're sending it to a friend or back to another exchange, it will actually show you on the device you're about to send 0.5 Bitcoin to somebody or whatever. But if you want to view your balance, you can't view it on the screen. Even on the Ledger Nano X, it won't do that, right? So you need an app. You need either the phone app or the desktop-based Ledger Live app to check your balance, right? So when we're in Ledger Live, we can check our balance of the wallet that's associated with the device. And you don't have to have the device connected to view your balance. You do have to have the device connected if you want to transfer any crypto out of the wallet. But you can view your balance on the computer or on the phone-based app, and without the device being connected. You can have the device home in a drawer and check your accounts, your portfolio, and also people can transfer crypto into the account without you having the ledger attached. You don't have to have the ledger attached and on and active to receive crypto, right? Because once you give someone the public address of one of your wallets, they can send you coin all day long. So like Ledger, I have a Ledger affiliate link, and they send me a certain amount of Bitcoin based on the number of people that click that link every month. And I can just check from my phone when the Bitcoin comes in and see that it has come in I can see how much came in and how it affected my balance. And I can do that from anywhere using my phone, or I can check it on my computer. And the whole time, the ledger's in the drawer, right? You don't have to connect the ledger to receive cryptocurrency. Let's see, what else have we got? Oh, you're welcome, Sarah and Mike. I'm glad you guys come. You know, you ask a lot of easy questions for me, at least sometimes. I think you had a couple of stumpers a while back. Lloyd is asking, when you get a ledger live, do you create your own key? And no, the device generates a key. So when you get a new ledger and you take it out of the box and you turn it on for the first time and go through the initial setup, it's going to generate a master private key for you. And it's a random key. It's as random can get. So there's a special chip inside the ledger that has logic circuits that generate that really long private key. And of course, a 256-bit key is long and difficult to remember. And not only that, it's difficult to write down, and it's difficult to read off that little screen. So what it does is it creates a human-readable form of that key in that 24-word recovery phrase. So that 24-word recovery phrase is just the English-readable representation of that randomly generated private key. Now, once it generates it and you initialize the device, that is the key from that point forward. That is the key that generates all of the additional wallets that you install on there. The Litecoin wallet, the Bitcoin wallet, the Ethereum wallet. So, and then of course you could always reset the device and generate a new one. And then that would also generate a brand new 24-word recovery phrase. So as long as you keep the original 24-word recovery phrase and the new 24-word recovery phrase in a safe place, then you can continue to do that ad infinitum if you so desire. But it's much easier to just generate one and manage one and keep the recovery phrase safe and generate wallets from there. But no, you don't choose it. The ledger chooses it for you. It's a mathematical formula. Grand Illusion from Idaho. Nice to have you. Brave Browser and Theta have joined together for an ad campaign. I tried providing a link to the article, but I think I'm being blocked for showing the link. Grand Illusion, I usually will allow... YouTube automatically blocks web links. And if I don't see them... And thank you for the tip, William, by the way. If I don't see them and say okay, I guess they eventually... I didn't see anything that got blocked, Grand Illusion. You might want to just try again and see if you can post that link, because if I see it pop up again, I'll allow it. Brave is a little wonky sometimes. Brave is a great browser. It blocks ads, and you can get paid to watch ads, and you can accumulate BAT tokens within the browser, which eventually will allow you to spend them. But it can have problems sometimes with certain websites and the functionality. So yeah, it's a little bit wonky. And while we're talking about Brave, I'd like to point out a lot of people will throw up comments in my videos about Brave and say that Brave is a scam because any wallet that you can't withdraw from is a scam. And you guys should all know that we talked about this before. You're accumulating BAT tokens by using the Brave browser. They just give them to you for free. And you can accumulate them in your Brave wallet, the cryptocurrency wallet that's built into the Brave browser. But Brave tokens are worth something, right? So if you could withdraw them and just sell them, then people wouldn't use the browser very much, right? It would just be kind of the rewards would not stay in the ecosystem. People would just withdraw their BAT and go sell it right away instead of using it to reward the advertisers or the content creators or their affiliate partners who are going to be providing services. They're making deals with the Brave browser. There's money changing hands, and Brave is trying to create an ecosystem that's better than what we have, where we usually get spammed with ads and we try to ignore them, and the advertisers don't get, no one watches their ads. So the only people making money are the middlemen, Facebook and Google. So Brave is trying to make it so that you can get paid for watching ads. The advertisers will get eyeballs, and the third-party people will also be involved because you'll be able to spend BAT tokens on their website, like their partner TAP, TAP. So all of that is coming, right? It's not totally implemented yet. So don't rush to judgment and say that the Brave browser is a scam because you can't withdraw your BAT. It is a one-way wallet I discovered on my own. But let's look at TAP. Let's look at Brave TAP. TAP is one of their partners, and TAP has all kinds of partnerships with retailers. And so TAP, you can buy plane tickets, hotel reservations, just all kinds of cool stuff once all this gets implemented properly. So don't rush to judgment and say that Brave is a scam. It's not. It's not a scam. That's my number one comment on my YouTube videos. That's a scam. Everybody tells that, if I do a video on a coin or a wallet or a cryptocurrency exchange, I get a lot of commenters that say, oh, it's a scam, that kind of stuff. Okay, so Scott Lee, Nano is mainly for the physical security final step. You still need interface, whether MyCrypto or Ledger Live, to see balances. Right. Yeah, very good point. Yeah. This is not always the easiest hardware wallet to use, or not the easiest way to store your crypto, but it is the most secure and the most convenient, considering, as compared to a paper wallet, which is the most secure but very inconvenient to use. And there are a lot of hardware-based wallets where you have to scan codes in order to interface, and they say, oh, it improves security because it never connects to anything. I would prefer to have a USB cable or a Bluetooth interface just to make my life easier. I don't want it to be so difficult to use that no one is ever going to adopt crypto. Okay, beta. Okay, we talked about that. Hillside Gaming, this is my first time catching you live. Can you tell me if there is any way to get your BAT out of the wallet? Yeah, you can't get your BAT out of the Brave browser wallet. But you can buy BAT tokens on cryptocurrency exchanges. And you can also sign up for rewards through Brave if you want to get paid. If you have a YouTube channel, a Twitch channel, or a standalone website, you can claim that website with Brave. You basically just have to prove that you're the content creator. And once you've done that, Brave will pay you in BAT directly to an Uphold wallet every month. And so that's a way to get the kind of BAT that you can sell or save. I prefer to save my BAT tokens. But this wallet here, no. And you'll notice it's empty because I don't use Brave on this wallet on this laptop much, and I even have ads off, right? So I'd have to turn ads on to start earning back, right? And I think they usually will give you a little bit when you first open the wallet, but I don't know why it's empty. Usually they give you a little bit. But anyway, yeah, so but there's no way. I found this out last year or the year before, I don't remember what. I had $50 worth of BAT tokens, which I transferred into my BAT wallet in Brave, and that's it. I soon quickly found out that it's a one-way wallet. But I'm patient, right? I'll just wait till all of the features are implemented, and then I can use what the wallet is still in there, not in this on this computer, my home computer. And then when all the features are implemented, I'll use that BAT to buy something cool through the web browser, and we'll all be happy. All right, let's see. I'm not going to go the whole way tonight, gang, because I'm on vacation and, the family is being so quiet. We need to get everybody back in here with the kids and turn the TV back on. So I'm not going to go till 7:30 this week. But I am going to, I'll be back next week, and I'm moving to Michigan. Going through some life changes, and so I'm seriously considering moving the Friday night live stream to 6 p.m. Michigan time, which would be 6 p.m. Eastern time. So those of you who have an opinion on that, let me know. Maybe we could do a happy medium and maybe move it in between. Like maybe 7 p.m. Eastern time or 8 p.m. Eastern time. But 9 p.m. Eastern time is a bit late for me to start the live stream. So I'm going to think about it. I'm not going to be in Michigan until August, so we'll talk more about it. So Grand Illusion has earned 101 BAT so far from Brave. That's cool. Cal Gapo is in Detroit. That's cool. There were some personal things that happened to me, namely the building that I was the apartment manager for got sold. And that was my main impetus. But the short answer to your question is the cost of living is about 1/3 in Michigan what it is in LA. Rents are just ridiculous in LA. And we were trying to find a new place, and we realized that we could get so much more for our money somewhere else than LA. And that's the long and short of it, really. Betty A., I still don't see any benefit of Brave for those of us who are not content creators. I already use Start Page Browser for privacy. Well, I agree. The only thing about Brave that's unique, privacy-wise, is that it also blocks ads and trackers, and you can get paid to watch ads. But not everybody really thinks that's great anyway. Some people may not like that, so Brave may not be a good fit for them. But it's a pretty easy way to earn BAT, and once they get all the features implemented, it might be worth your while to turn on the ad feature of Brave. Because Grand Illusion just mentioned he's got 101 BAT. So let's see, how much would that be worth? All right, whoops, not BTC. So Grand Illusion has 101 BAT. 24 bucks. That's not bad. That could get you a nice gift card for someone's birthday. Like a gift card for Bath and Body Works or something like that. And that's not bad, just for using a browser that also blocks ads and tracking. But like Betty, if you like Start Page better, or there are other people that have higher privacy needs and they use Tor, or they're just fine using Chrome with ad blockers. It's all just personal preference. But like I said, the Brave browser and Brave Software International are trying to create that new loop so that the broken system works better, right? Nobody likes getting spammed with ads. So they're coming up with their own creative solution to that. May not be the best solution. It's a solution. So let me read a little more. What's going on with you guys? Where is Michigan? Wait a minute. I thought Calgapo was said come down to Detroit. Actually, Glenn, my brother and I caught several fish this morning, but they were all throwbacks. But we had a good time. When moving cryptos to a wallet, does Coinbase report it as a sale, or it is a transfer first to Coinbase Pro and then to wallet? All right, that's a very good question. For tax purposes, if you're moving your crypto to a wallet, it's considered a sale. It's considered that you're sending it to someone or something or whatever. Now, if you use, there's software for called Cointracker.com, and Cointracker.com allows you to enter all of your exchanges and all of your wallets. You put in the address of your wallet, and then if you send your coins to a wallet that they have in the system that you've entered into the system, then it's not considered a sale. It's considered you still owning it and storing it. Now, I may have spoke out of turn in the beginning because I think if you can provide proof, say to the IRS that you own that wallet and that is your wallet, and then that crypto that you sent from your exchange to that wallet was not a sale, it was storage, and that you still own it. So I think, but you have to prove that to them. So if you use Cointracker.com, it keeps a record of all of that and allows you to present that evidence to your tax preparer, and they help you generate a special capital gains form so that all of that crypto that you moved from one place to another is accounted for. So technically speaking, if you send your crypto to your own wallet, it's not really a sale. But if that wallet is just not accounted for in any way or form, right? If you're not reporting that wallet to the IRS or your tax accountant, then it just looks like you're sending crypto to a non-address that is not in your control. And in that case, they consider that a sale. And Cointracker will consider if you move coins off one of your wallets or off your exchange to a wallet that you don't have in their system, they'll consider it like a sale. So that's the sort of short and long answer. Oh, thank you. Is there any way I could chat with you and ask many questions to you? I can pay you. Well, I have a Patreon page. So I have patrons that have signed up for my Patreon page that we have a weekly Q&A, and then there's a special tier that people can pay me $50 for like a one-on-one hour session. And then I think there's some links down below to Worth It, where if you want to just ask me a standalone question, it'll only cost you $5. So there's lots of ways to get help from me, but you might want to just try sending me an email, and if it's a short, easy question, I can answer it. But I know sometimes a short question can turn into a long discussion, so I appreciate the fact that you're willing to compensate me for a longer discussion. And I do have Discord, so maybe we can work something out. You might want to just shoot me an email and remind me of your YouTube handle. I think that there is a LTC address. Let's see where it is here. Doggone it. Oh, here. Yeah, if you look. Yeah, if you look down in the address there, there's a LTC address down there. If you want to send me Litecoin, I'd be overjoyed. But you don't have to. That may have been just a joke. So uh, if you were just kidding, you got me. But there are addresses down in the description if anyone has a mind to send me even $5 worth of crypto. If you feel the need to, you're more than welcome. All right, gang. I'm gonna wrap it up here. No problem. Thanks Hillside Gaming. Thanks DJH2211. Thank you all for joining me. Sorry if you had trouble seeing me or hearing me, and I didn't have all of the stuff up and running. But please join me again. Where I've got when I can share my phone with you guys. There's a lot more things that I can show you. How to buy and move crypto. So I encourage you to keep joining and subscribe to my channel, and you'll get alerted when I post videos because I do a lot of walkthroughs. I've got over 200 videos. I'm approaching 300. So check me out on my YouTube channel. Give me that thumbs up. I appreciate it. And I will see you guys again next week. It was great seeing everybody. And I'm going to go back over to my control panel and stop streaming. Guys, enjoy the rest of your night.